All right, Miss Elle Dawson. Red light is on. We are live Tuesday. We've been away for a couple weeks. It feels good to be back. Elle, how are you?
I know. Yeah, it's been forever, it seems like.
Yeah.
Jillian and I have both been traveling, so we did like an awesome first morning brew of the year and then just like ghosted everybody for 2 weeks. So, well, it's good to be back. We're here for
I know.
Tuesday. We'll be back on Sunday for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. I was I was at Island Fights this past weekend, and it was like a weird week in MMA, right? Because like the UFC was off, but then also there was a plethora of things. There was a lot. Like I was at Island Fights. G was actually at another live event. The PFL had an event over there in Saudi Arabia. Dubai. And then I know we had Knuckle Mania in Philly and the GFL draft. It was just crazy. A lot. So
Yeah, a lot happening. A lot of updates too.
For sure. All right. Well, let's see how I do. We're gonna try to just boost it just a tad. This is the best that we can do. Gonna put up this card, L. I know I'm excited about it. I'm really pumped. I know you guys love day cards. I'm not a day card guy because my kids will be jumping on me. I won't be able to really watch the event as closely as the night, but I'm excited for Saturday.
Card is looking a little bit smaller than it was a few days ago.
Yeah, 2 fights are gone. 2 fights are gone. I love how Mike got put to the main card though. Mike Davis.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy to see him back. Happy to see him back too. We love us some Mike Davis.
Yeah, should be a good fight. Good fight. I'll tell that Island Fight story later. I think I told you off air. There was a fight in the main event, and then a fight, and then a brawl, then a backstage brawl. It was crazy. It was fun. Let's just say it was exciting. So we'll talk about that later. But all right. I think the headline of Saturday, I think it's pretty obvious. Israel Adesanya, one of the great middleweights of all time. I have him at number 2. I got Anderson Silva 1. He's at 2. I can hear debates and arguments if he's 3 or 1. I can hear stuff. But one of the best middleweights of all time is he's back against Nasruddin Imavov, and he's a betting favorite, but not a big betting favorite. What do you think about Izzy, his return, all that?
I don't know. I think Imavov is one of the most consistently underrated guys in the division.
Okay.
I know Brendan Allen didn't have his best night, but what he did to Brendan Allen just, he's super tough. And it's one of those things where I don't know that he has like a whole lot of holes. He's got really, really clean striking. I think Izzy still has that X factor where he can hit you from awkward angles with knockout power.
Sure.
So I could see it, but I'm really leaning Imavov here. I think Izzy has gotten older. I think we constantly underestimate Imavov, and I've done that before, and I think I'm done. I think I've officially drank the Imavov Kool-Aid. I'm on board with this guy. He's just a very, very complete fighter.
You said Izzy's old. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, he's 35. That's actually a little bit older than I thought. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it's not like he's 35 he's washed by any means. There are a lot of guys that are still doing really well and winning fights at 35.
Great point.
Great point. Izzy has not looked, he just hasn't looked quite himself, I think. And I know that's hard to say because we're only seeing him fight the absolute best guys in the
I was going to say that.
So it's one of those things. I'm a little back and forth, but I'm really been leaning Imavov lately.
He lost to Alex. Then he defeated Alex Pereira, which might go down as his greatest UFC win ever.
Epic.
Then that's Sean Strickland. That's the one that bothers me. I just think it was I don't know if that's the end of him at his highest, or is that like he totally overlooked him. He was one of the biggest betting favorites of the year, a lot of that nature. And then the Dricus du Plessis thing, the same thing. He lost. I say this all the time. Dricus du Plessis doesn't lose fights. So, that's a great loss. And he was winning that fight and had great moments in that fight and kind of he didn't get caught. Dricus submitted them. It is what it is. It's part of his game. My long story short, those are 3 great losses. Alex, Strickland, and Dricus.
No, I agree. And I don't want to take anything away from Izzy. Grant bringing up that Bilal Muhammad is 36. I think it's also fight styles. If Bilal Muhammad gets a little bit slower, it doesn't affect his fight style like it
Right.
affects Izzy. And that's what I think people tend to lose soonest is their speed. And
Yep.
that is Izzy's entire game is him countering. Like that is his game and that is how he's beaten some of the best guys in the world and I am not sure if he still has that speed. And also, I'm not sure if Imavov is going to give him as many opportunities to land as Dricus did.
Sure.
Dricus's style is very messy.
Yeah.
It's a very messy fight, and Imavov is very technical, which could do what that could help Izzy as well. You know, like if
Right.
they have just like a really technical striking match and Imavov doesn't wrestle at all, I could see Izzy winning that. You know, it's a tough one to call.
And we're definitely not going away from this. And like I said, for the first time ever, I felt like you and I was like, hey, we talked, we have like 9 things, we have talking points. But then I don't know if you did see this, and I have something on Imhoff before we leave. This literally broke 5 minutes before we went live.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I will say this. They don't mess around. Like when remember when people thought the Tyson thing was fake? Like when Jake Paul posts something, it kind of happens. I think this is happening. I'm not sure. Wild, really wild. That's all I'm gonna say. Wild.
Yeah, I do not understand. I thought there was going to be something with Connor. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, because they did it. Also, they collabed with HBO Max, who they don't want to be clowned on. Like HBO Max is a real thing. They're trying to get their sports going. So a lot of stuff. The great Grant Dawson coming on in around 23 more minutes. I don't think they lose speed. I think they lose reaction time. So they look slower, which is my grapplers can't fight longer because that's actually a really
me look bad.
great point. I love it. I have a feeling Imhoff is going to announce his arrival as a title challenger this weekend. I'm gonna say something on that. I thought Logan would be doing Mania or something around that time. That's actually a great point, Sean. I thought so too. But maybe it's a boxing match with your brother. Maybe it's the greatest advertising for WrestleMania. I don't know. Like I said, guys, that's another time for another topic. Connor for sure maybe. This is going off the rails. All right, real quick. Back to Imhoff. The one thing I will say about him is just, you know me, I'm pretty pro Brendan Allen and seeing his win. The one thing I'll say about Imhoff, even in his win against Cannonier, I never see that moment. You know, like we'll use Grant as an example. There's just a great transition into a rear naked choke, and you're like, boom, like world champion flash, like it just whatever. Like, and there's all these dude, he's the 6th best middleweight in the world. I just never see that from him. Like I feel like he's B or B plus at everything, and he just like his fights like this, and it's like, if you falter or mistake, he will win. But I never see him like, oh my goodness, this guy can win the championship.
I just want to say, is that all that different from Bilal? From Bilal's path to the title? He's just super consistent.
I would say Bilal's A- at everything. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, that's fair. He's a very well-rounded guy. But he also isn't like, he hasn't had like a super wow moment either until we saw him ragdoll Leon. And then I think it was like, we realized he's kind of been doing this to everybody steadily.
Yeah.
And I think this could be Imavov's moment to do that. Like if he just outstrikes Izzy for the whole fight, like I feel like that might be his moment, you know?
Oh, that's a great point. That is a really good point. Really good point. All right. Another good point. Dottie Gaines here. Let's talk about Jasmine being on a 3-fight win streak with 2 finishes and being 3rd fight on the card. For one, it's a stacked fight night, so it is what it is. But no, we love some. I know Elle is has trained and talked with Jasmine. She just had she was with James Lynch under the banner a couple weeks ago. We definitely love Jasmine. So I think it's a good fight too against a title challenger.
Myra used to train at ATT as well, so I've actually got to see both those girls in the gym. I think it's a really fun fight.
You got some inside dirty tea there? What's going
on? No, not at all. I just think it's a fun fight. I think it's a fun fight. Both girls can grapple, you know. And I'm excited for it. I love Jazz as well. I love Jazz. I love Myra. It's going to be a fun one.
I'm leaning Jazz. I love the momentum. Silva, I think it was a tainted supplement or something of that nature in the law.
I just ADHD medication.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of it was one of the few times where somebody's failed a test where it was kind of like really, guys, like,
okay.
That one I think was not a big deal,
Okay.
personally.
I like that. I like that.
I could see it definitely damages the reputation, though, regardless.
Sure. Chris goes, Dana won't count. I totally agree. Like Conor McGregor, to me, I don't think he's ever going to fight Bare Knuckle FC. I think L's been on this way before He's never going to fight again. Period.
Never fighting again. It's never happening.
He's like Mickey Mouse. Like he's a hood ornament. Like it is what it is. I don't think he's ever going to fight. What's up? What's up with you, Dan? I like that. Our main man, Dawson. Imamov is a decision machine. Great kickboxer. He can outstrike Izzy and that be huge for a stock. That is true.
That could be his moment.
If he beats Israel Adesanya, especially stand-in, like, okay. Whatever he wants to do is next. How are you both doing today? Hope all is well. Chin up, ass out. Okay. I guess Conor will never fight again. Grant, I totally agree. We'll talk about that in 15 minutes. We're going to talk with our main man, Keelan, here in 2 minutes about that Paul Hughes and Usman Nurmagomedov fight over in Dubai. The GFL, in my opinion, is looking promising with the recent drafts. But what do you guys think? Okay, Dottie, I'm happy you brought that up. We'll hit this one last time before we'll talk with Keelan. Elle had she found this great thing. This is from Cage Side Press. They do a great job over there, so shout out to them. Sugar Rashad Evans is saying that he was in this pool with no consent.
Never signed a contract.
Never signed a GFL contract. Was never going to be drafted. I've heard horror stories already. It's one of those things, Elle. The more MMA, the better for Fight Bananas. I've always said that. Like, I want, if PFL was having shows every week and kicking butt, that's just more content, more stuff. Imagine if they were on Friday, UFC was on Saturday. More
they
money.
Could be doing that. They could be doing that every week. I don't know why PFL isn't doing that every week.
They could.
They have the roster.
I don't want to be negative Nancy about the GFL, but I've just been hearing stories, behind the scenes stories, on the scenes. I don't know if you watched that draft at all. I thought a lot of it was a shit show. I
just don't understand the point of the draft. They're like, hey, here's the coach and the manager. You guys don't get to pick the teams at all.
I know. Ray Longo, he didn't pick anyone.
Like, Pitt said the same thing. Like, it's not a thing. It's just very bizarre to me. It's a very weird. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure what the plan is with drug testing. I know we've got a lot of retired fighters that are definitely not USADA approved right now that are in this pool. So are we just not going to drug test? There's just too many questions right now surrounding everything. Yeah. I would love to hear more about the Rashad Evans thing, though, because that's just wild to me. I know. I wonder how that went down. Did a manager sign a contract and just not say?
No, I think any big name that was kind of outside the UFC umbrella, I think they stuck on a poster that said sign with GFL. Some of them they gave money to, and I actually know some they legitimately gave even upfront money to of like a sign-in bonus, if you want to say, for like social media, that aspect. But all these contracts, some of these guys are going to make mega money if they fight. And let's see if they do have a first show. Everyone says it's late in April. Let's see. But we'll kind of hammer that for a little bit later. Like we said, 1:15, we're going to bring on our first person. We have 4 people coming on live. Phil Hughes and Usman Nurmagomedov had a great fight. This is our main man from Ireland. Bring him on to the show. Keelan, what's up, brother?
Dave, Elle, great to be back on. How are you guys?
Doing good. How are you, man?
See you, man?
Dude, I'm good, and I'm even better after this past weekend. Let's put it that way. Okay. We never really went away, but the Irish might very well be back better than they were before.
I like that. Okay, I like it. So the fight's over. Oh, okay. The first question, before the announcement of who won and where were you at? Did you think Paul had a chance? Did you think he was going to win? Where did you think the numbers were at?
I had it as a draw. I'll be honest. I thought the first judge had it right. Look, there's people saying that Usman won a robbery because it was in Dubai and obviously Muslim country and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't a robbery. It was an extraordinarily close fight. And listen, if Paul Hughes had won, I obviously would have been delighted because I'm incredibly biased, but I'm not upset that Paul lost. You know, Paul did what Ian Gary did to Shavkat Rakhmonov. He took on the most dangerous fighter in the division and gave him the toughest fight he's ever had. Even when he lost, he won big. You know, I'm not upset about that one damn bit. I thought to answer the question you actually asked me, I did have it as a draw. I thought,
Okay.
like I said, I thought the first judge got it right. But you know what? Usman fought a really, really good fight. He came in, his striking is unbelievable. The fact that he uses his teep kick almost as a jab is just, I've never seen anybody do that. I think he's an incredible fighter, and I thought he fought a very, very hard fight. And you know what? I'm not upset that he won.
Okay, I like that. One more quick one, then Elle, take it away, please. They put it up right away. Rematch. Are you one of those guys? Be like, yeah, we got to see these two boys fight in 4 months, maybe even in Ireland, maybe in the States. Do these boys need to run it back?
Dave, not only do they need to run it back, they're bringing it back home to Belfast. That is happening. And we need fight bananas there for sure, because no town does it like Belfast does it. I mean, I was there the last time Bellator were in Belfast, and they put on a show like nobody else does. Dublin's great, Belfast is better. That's my opinion. And I mean, you thought that first fight was good. Wait until you've got 15,000 crazy Irish people in the crowd, multiplied by about 100, and you've got an idea.
I got to be honest. I've been to a Bellator show in Dublin. We were training with James Gallagher at the time, and so we went to watch him fight, and then we took a vacation in Scotland after, which was the best vacation we've ever taken, by the way. That was the most fun, the best energy, best crowd. Everybody was super, like, drunk but nice. Like, it was the best energy and the best just environment for a fight I've ever been to. And you're saying Belfast is better. Dave, I think he's right. I think we need to get fight bananas out there for this.
I totally agree on this. I think we can go on frontier lanes. Khabib Nurmagomedov will definitely get us the in on that. We'll go frontier, sit not on an exit row, and we'll get to Belfast. I think they go that way.
I mean, guys, you have to do it. You got to come through for it. I mean, listen, I love Dublin. Dublin crowds are great. Belfast people are better. I'm telling you. There is no fighting city like Belfast. The boxing heritage from Belfast is top class. The MMA scene that is growing in Belfast, I mean, you see it with Paul Hughes. Fight Academy Ireland, shout out those guys. They are training and they are breeding this next generation. The second Irish invasion that is coming, Belfast is at the front of that alongside Dublin. This isn't just an SBG charge anymore. This is a Fight Academy charge. This is a North and South effort. And guys like Paul Hughes, there are a lot more where Paul Hughes came from. Paul Hughes was just a diamond in the rough, but there's a whole mine of diamonds to be found. And if you come to Belfast, you're going to see the show they put on. And I'm telling you, it is a brilliant, brilliant city. In fact, I'll do you one even better. The SSE Arena where these fights get held, they're right next to the Titanic Museum. How much more can you ask for? I mean, the imagery's not great, I admit, because one was really bad, one's really good. But I'm telling you, it is a brilliant, brilliant time. And the Belfast people are the best.
If PFL doesn't hire Keelan to promote this card, they're insane.
We have so many people that people didn't even know where to watch last week's show. So like the PFL doesn't know how to promote themselves at all. You can just have Keelan just literally shout down the whole card. I really want to go. I didn't even watch the fight live. I was working that weekend. So I caught the ending, and I saw the end of the 5th round, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can tell I missed something because of just how the announcers were and everything was happening. And then I saw who won and kind of the aftermath afterwards. I did go back to watch it before I had an event on Saturday night. But Keelan, just you had something about diamond and mines. We're going to cut that up, put that in the video. I think Dustin Poirier needs you to walk out with him for his final walk. You just keep doing your thing, brother. I was going to kick you off in 3 minutes, but you got the next 10.
That's still not the worst thing anyone's ever said to me, Dave. I'll take that as a compliment. But no, listen, I was on the fight as a whole, and thank you for the kind words, by the way. I was so happy with it, because you look at Paul Hughes and you look at, I mean, look at that corner that Usman Nurmagomedov had.
Yeah.
Habib Nurmagomedov, one of the best fighters there's ever been. Islam Makhachev, the reigning lightweight champion of the world, arguably second best lightweight there's ever been already. Fedor Emelianenko, the Russian emperor. And then you've got Paul Hughes and a bunch of lads from Ireland. And they still went in and almost won. I'm telling you, it doesn't get better than this. Give me a camera crew, give me Belfast. Let's get this thing on the road.
I love it. Let's go.
I love it. And just real quick, you said something there, and I know we did not plan to go here. This is just how my brain works. I am already in the month of January of 2025. I think I might be a co-leader here in Fight Bananas. So I'm Fight Bananas is putting Islam Makhachev over Habib Nurmagomedov. I'm doing it. All right. I have the authority here in Fight Bananas. To me, Islam Makhachev is the greatest UFC lightweight I have ever seen. He's the best. So
very interesting. I don't know that I can say he's better than Habib, but he's the natural evolution of Habib. Habib couldn't strike the way Islam can strike. Habib couldn't knock out an opponent the way Islam can knock out an opponent. But Habib has laid the foundation. And no, you don't want me singing, Dawson. It's a war crime when I try and sing, but I appreciate it anyway. No, but I don't know that you can say one is better than the other. I think one is naturally building off the other. And that's the way you should look at it. You know, people are saying Habib's better than this, Islam's better than that. They're both as great as each other. Habib's wrestling, nobody could deal with it. Maybe even George St. Pierre wouldn't have been able to deal with it. Islam Makhachev can strike. He can knock people out. He's such a dual threat. He's almost, Dave, you'll understand this reference. He's like a 5-tool player in baseball. That is Islam Makhachev. Habib was like a 4-tool elite player. Islam's a 5-tool player.
So, Keelan, you have an iPhone?
I do.
Oh, you're next. You're next. You have an iPhone, Keelan?
Yes.
What number is it?
I was gonna say I wasn't sure where you were going with this, but I'll certainly play along and check. I think it's a 16, is it? But 16, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's the new one, huh? That's good, right?
Thinking new.
That's really good. It's got AI on it. It's so quick and clean. The battery life is great. Islam Makhachev is the iPhone 16. Habib Nurmagomedov is the first iPhone. It was great. It was really good. It was like something we never seen before, but it's outdated. Habib Nurmagomedov in 2025 is not Habib Nurmagomedov. Islam Makhachev is better than Habib Nurmagomedov.
If you put side-by-side clips of both guys fighting Dustin Poirier, I think your mind might change. Watch Dustin Poirier hitting switches consistently throughout the fight, by the way, on Islam Makhachev and getting back to his feet. Tries to hit the exact same switch in the Khabib fight. And the way Khabib utilizes his the body lock and just the way he reacts when Dustin Poirier tries to hit the switch ends up still on top with a full body lock. Exact same move. I think Khabib is the better fighter. I really do. I think Moicano had great, fantastic moments on the feet in a very short fight that he took on a day's notice. I don't know. I think it's really interesting when you put them side by side. Yes, I agree. I think Islam might have cleaner striking, but Khabib used his striking so beautifully in every fight.
And I don't want to use up all of Keelan's time on this, and I'm sorry. I'm
fine. I'll go as long as you need me to.
Don't you think, Ellen, tell me if I'm wrong on that, don't you think that Poirier is a better fighter maybe when he was fighting Makhachev because he went through the Habib Nurmagomedov?
Sure, but I'm talking about the exact same move. He's been hitting that switch his whole career. And he can hit it on Islam, but he couldn't hit it on Khabib.
Well, one move. Like I get what you're saying. So maybe that one move that Habib is better than Islam, but just me watching the fights, and I could be dead wrong, and I'm telling you, I've been wrong probably around 88% of the time in my life. But what I see, I just think he's a better mixed martial artist. I just think even his longevity to me has been better than Habib. His opponents, the time.
Hang on. I will say beating Alex at any weight class is always incredible. But right now we're on this, like, Islam has defended the lightweight title more than anybody else in history. 2 of those defenses were against a featherweight.
That is true.
Nobody else was defending against featherweights when they held the lightweight title.
Here's the thing, Dave. This is where I stand on this. I think, optically speaking, Islam Makhachev is a more exciting fighter. I don't think he's necessarily a better fighter. I think there's a big difference between those two.
Yeah, no, that's well said. That is well said.
Because you made a really interesting point, Dave, and I'll just say this really quickly.
Yeah,
you asked if Dustin was a better fighter for going through Khabib to get to Islam. I think he was a worse fighter for it, because I think he had a better chance of beating a slightly more one-dimensional fighter in Khabib, and Khabib was too good to get that job done. And so I actually think he had less chance going against a more well-rounded, more dangerous opponent, but that's just me.
But he looked better. So I've got flies. He looked better fighting Islam than he did fighting Khabib. He made it closer, you know.
And I think he looked better because Makhachev kind of allows, like, he feels comfortable standing. And he's like, dude, I'm going to win this striking, battle as well. Like, Khabib never, like, I'm going for the takedown sooner.
That is true.
Everything was set up for
more
him.
Dominant. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I agree with Khabib. Maybe Islam's more exciting, but Khabib was more dominant.
Yeah, no, dominant, you can't argue. It's hard to debate against, because what he did, that run, how he did it, I really do think he never lost a round. Like that's insane.
Except for Gleison Tebow. I'll die on that mountain.
Oh my God, Gleison Tebow, what a reference.
What a legend. Did he get drafted by the GFL this past weekend?
I don't even know.
That should have been the marketing point.
I know, the man who beat Khabib.
I actually don't know. Did he? Let's go. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to pull up the...
Please do.
But I do think just while I was looking that
let's
up,
not act like Dricus would murder Islam, though. Ooh, that's a whole nother talking point for another time, Shad God MMA. Great name, by the way.
You guys, I mean, the only reason he's calling out Dricus is because he's not going to fight Dricus. He's calling him out because he called out Bilal Muhammad, and Coach Khabib told him to chill out because they trained together, and all of a sudden he didn't call out Bilal anymore. That's what happened, guys. Come on.
And as much, this is the last thing on in Keelan. I want you to put a bow on Hughes, please. I am maybe one of the most pro-Islam guys. I just think he's that great. I think he's, in this era that I'm watching, he's the best that I see. Him at middleweight, I don't want to say this and to be too polarizing. He gets beat by those top 6 guys. I think Imamov has a good shot of beating Makhachev. He's just such a bigger human being.
He's so much bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't hate that. The thing is, we have weight classes for a very good reason.
Yes.
Jumping up 30 pounds to fight anybody is crazy.
Insane.
I will say, though, I know they train together, so this isn't going to happen. I think Islam Makhachev absolutely runs through Bilal Muhammad like a steam train. I think he makes that look easy.
Yeah.
I think he's too good. I really do think so. Because I think Khabib would have absolutely decimated Tyron Woodley if he'd have moved up. And I think Islam has the frame to move up to welterweight. And if he gets past Arman Sarukian, he will rule this division as long as he wants to. And I think the path is there to move up if Bilal Muhammad lost the title.
I hate that the Arman fight may not happen now,
Yeah.
At least not for, because I just don't think there's anybody who's in that top 5 right now that I want to see. He's calling out Gaethje. I have no desire to see that. Should Gaethje beat Hooker, obviously, but I don't want to see him fight either of those guys. Arman's the only guy I want to see him fight, and I truly do think that at this point in time, obviously, in a couple more fights, we want to see Grant Dawson hop in there with Islam. But in that top 5 right now, I just don't want to see anybody else,
I know. Hey, Keelan, put a bow on Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov, and then we're going to let you run, my man, and then Grant's going to jump in. Put a bow on it. Was it the best fight? A lot of people were talking about it was the best fight ever in PFL history. how important was it? The first fight of the year, just a lot of stuff. And I think they had a lot of bad press. I think they needed a big fight like that. No one's talking about bad press or season. We're just talking about a good fight, a great championship fight, and maybe a rematch. And that's where you need to be as a fight promotion, I think.
It was the greatest fight the PFL have ever put on. It's the proudest I've been in 10 years to be an Irish MMA fan. We will look back on Saturday night in 5 years' time as the watershed moment for Irish MMA. The second invasion of the sport from this country starts here. The rematch starts in Belfast. Paul Hughes wins the gold. The Irish take it all over the world again.
I love it.
Love
Dude.
it.
Gillian, we will talk to you very soon, my man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time. And yeah, go Ireland. I love it. Belfast.
Guys.
Bananas. I love it.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
Thanks, Keelan.
Gillian, dude, how good was he, guys?
Dude, cutting promos for us. Also, Gleison Tebow is on Team Miami at welterweight.
Unbelievable. Jack Nichols says, ooh, Elle looks lovely with your hair down. There you go. Her amazing husband's about to enter the stage, though, in 10 seconds. So, Jake, watch yourself. If Gaethje wins versus Hooker, is he next, or does the Charles get next?
I mean, it's probably going to be Gaethje. We already saw Oliveira.
Yeah.
I think beating Michael Chandler is not the feather in the cap that it maybe used to be. You know, I like at this point the guy's 2-4 in the UFC. It wasn't like a super exciting fight. I feel like Gaethje and Hooker is going to be super fun no matter what happens. I don't want to see Ilya fight him either. I don't think he's big enough.
I know. I disagree with this too. I'm so happy to me, we said this. Ilya has so much to do in the featherweight division, guys. We have maybe a rematch with Volk. You know, maybe, God forbid, a rematch with Max. And then we do have Diego, Mosarv. God forbid if Aljo wins 2-3 fights in a row, because that's a bad scenario for him. I think Yair Rodriguez is fun. And I said this.
There's
I think
so many fun fights to make it featherweight.
So many fights.
I don't want to see that.
But welterweights are slowly becoming lightweights. Used to be welterweight has so much contenders, so many talent. Dude, Shad Dog God MMA. Love it. Love it. But Elle, it's up to you. You can stay, or I know if Grant's ready, we can get him in if you, however you feel. Okay. And now we get the better looking Dawson. Look at that. What's up, Grant? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Dude, you look good. You look really good. It was what, 2 weeks almost on the dot, or pushing 2 weeks?
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah.
Body feels great.
A couple days.
Yeah.
It always feels longer. Good? It always feels longer when we're off a week for fights.
It's like 2 years.
Yeah. I judge my time by because he fought on this week, which was 2 weeks after me, because he fought the week after me.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Oh, man. Well, cool. Everything back. I know you guys had a little trip afterwards. Does it feel great to be in South Florida once again?
Amazing. Amazing. I hate vacations. I love my beautiful wife, and so she gets the vacations, but I hate not being in the gym. Trained on Monday, felt great. Trained this morning, felt great.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I got 4 or 5 things for you. Then if you're feeling good and have time, no pressure at all, I do have a very fun little thing here in the back that I picked up this morning that I always know that you love to do. So
I do. I have to be off by 2. I have another interview at 2.
Okay, sounds good.
I do want to break it this week.
Okay, sounds good, brother. I do want to show you this. This kind of came through the media outlets this morning, and I would love your take. Rafael Fiziev goes, hey, I don't have a fight. Benny, you don't have a fight. He kind of calls out Benny Darush. I would love your take on that.
Yeah, I think that's a great fight. That's the fight to make. You know, I like the fact that Fiziev is calling out another grappler or fighting. You know, a lot of guys in his position would be like, you know, I'm coming off of 2 losses.
Yeah.
Let me get somebody that's not going to try to take me down and hold me down. Let me get somebody that I can strike with the whole time. So that's very honorable. But I do think that's a tough fight for Fiziev. You know, I think Fiziev is very good, but I think Beneil, I don't think he gets enough credit, the credit that he deserves. Beneil beat a guy that beat Fiziev. So it's a very interesting matchup.
It is, for sure. I thought the same thing. And with talking with you right after the fight and kind of talking to you, since it feels like you're maybe going for that route too, is a goal of yours to get the Benny DeRouche fight, or you don't give a crap, whatever, when Jason calls you and whatever is on the side, dotted line, you just gonna keep moving?
Yeah, the only people I say no to are teammates. And there's just so many options, Dustin isn't even an option because, he's so far ahead of me on fame and ranking and stuff. I'm not fighting Moicano. I'm not fighting Gamrot. Other than that, they give me a call. The answer is most likely going to be yes. There's guys I definitely don't want to fight, but I will. And then there's guys that I would much rather fight. I believe, and I have nobody has said anything. Ooh. I believe my next opponent will be BSD, but that is just, and nobody has, that is not even on.
It's a feeling.
That is just, I think my phone is going to ring in the next month or two and they're going to say, hey, do you want to fight BSD? And the answer is going to be yes.
I love that. I thought you were going to say Jalen Turner. I thought you were going to go that route.
I would love to fight Jalen Turner. I don't think that Jalen Turner will fight me. I maybe he will. That's not a dog on him. But if I was Jalen Turner, I would be asking for Fiziev. That's who I would be asking for.
Yeah, that's a fun fight.
I think Jalen wins that fight. I don't think there's a lot of strikers that beat Jalen Turner. I really don't. I think 100% of the grapplers are going to beat him, and he's going to beat 100% of the strikers. I'd love to see him versus Joel Alvarez too. Those are some fun fights. Yeah. I don't think these guys are going to say yes to a fight with me, somebody who's going to get the takedown and grind you out or submit you or pound you out. So, if it's Jalen Turner, the answer is yes. I believe it's going to be BSD next.
I'm just throwing it out there. There had been the last two times that Benoit Saint Denis lost to an American top team guy. Their very next fight was for the world championship. Just throwing it out there.
That is true. That is true. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that going.
Islam says he wants to do something in October. Gaethje wins, and then all of a sudden it's going to be Gaethje. They got the poster up, and then 2 weeks out, Gaethje's foot hurts. Can't do it. And they're like, hey, wait, Benoit Saint Denis, Grant, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be ranked like number 10 or 10 or 9 or something like that. So it'll make sense.
We've seen it. We see, Moicano's done it. Steve Ersic, Roundtree.
I really thought that I was going to step up and fight Dariush after Moicano took the fight. I told my coaches, I was like, hey, I'm not going to say anything. But if the UFC comes to me and asks me to fight Dariush on the pay-per-view, I'm going to say yes. And they were like, well, let's make sure that we get money out of it. And I was like, look, all that's great. But if the UFC asks me to do it, I'm going to say yes. I want to be on the pay-per-view. I want to get up in that rankings. Now, the nice thing is the better game plan is beat the guy you were training for and then hopefully get the guy that can get that opportunity.
I was going to ask you that because it's with you saying that kind of – I'm not saying you skip a step, but if that happened – and you smash Benny, just say you had a second round team KO, to me, that's a giant leap. You got into the rankings, but if you beat Benny and stopped him in the pay-per-view, what are you, 7? It seems like you would have skipped a step. And is that where your mindset was? Or were you just super hungry and you would have fought anyone?
No, it was more so like, 1, we would have been on the pay-per-view. 2, I can't explain it to you. I felt good. I really feel like not a lot of people were beating me Saturday night. So I got, and look, Diego's a super tough guy. Nobody has beaten Diego like I beat him. He went to a split decision with Beneil Dariush. Nobody has beaten him the way that I've beaten him. So it other than maybe Dustin, but Dustin knocked him out like he knocks everybody out. So it's like a little bit different, but I outclassed him. I showed who the better fighter was overall 3 rounds. The state of California gave me the scorecards in a picture frame of my fight. The first and only time that's ever been done.
Wow.
And that's how bad I beat Diego. And so I think, and you know what, I was not nervous that night. In the back, wasn't nervous. Walking out, wasn't nervous. We were slinging on each other. wasn't nervous. Like it was just my night. I've only ever felt like that one other time, and it was against Damir Ismagulov.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could have beat me that night. So I almost wish that we had pushed a little bit harder for the Beneil fight, because I do think that I would have jumped the line, and then my next fight would have been Charles Oliveira / Chandler, maybe even Arman, like who knows? So it is what it is.
Well, his back is hurting right now, Grant. So let's not say his name too loud. I'm just messing. Grant, if a short notice 170 ranked fighter needs a fight, would or could you take that type of fight, or just 155?
It would be opponent dependent. I definitely think there's 170ers that I beat. But if it doesn't make sense,
what's a fun one that comes to your head right away? Like a fun ranked opponent. They're like, and
at 170?
Yeah, main event.
Who's the guy that knocked out Bilal Muhammad and then rematched? Vicente Luque.
Oh,
I like that.
That's
fight.
fun. That's fun.
I to be honest with you, I fight Colby Covington.
Oh. All right. That's a fight poster I would like. That's a good one.
I'm dead serious. I would fight. That's angel versus demon there. We're the same guy. He's just not very good at what we do.
I was just going to say that I hope you take this in the best compliment ever, because for one, how I feel about you. I see a lot of Colby Covington 6 years ago in kind of you right now. Right. Like, dude, your pace, cardio,
right? Wrestling.
There's 95% that just can't deal with that, can't deal with you. It's just straight up. There's just 95% of the guys, hot knife butter, and that's what Colby was 6 years ago, and that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. My coaches around that time, 4 or 5 years ago, were saying, like, you need to study Colby. Like, you're very similar to him. Like watch this guy. Like, the cardio, the pressure, the wrestling. This is the guy to watch out for. I actually think that there are things that I do much better than Colby. I don't think Colby has great control. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's a lot like Merab, where he doesn't even have that great of takedowns. He just, his cardio is so good. And here's my belief. I think that Colby doesn't train anymore.
Sure.
And so I think what happens is he gets a fight. He goes into the gym when he's got 3 weeks left. He's gassing out every single round. And then he goes, oh, crap. I don't have that cardio that I had because I didn't keep, going. So then he gets into the fights and he doesn't wrestle like he used to. Watch Colby Covington versus RDA, and then watch Colby Covington versus, or even Robbie Lawler, and then watch Colby Covington versus his last couple. Yeah. It's not the same guy. And you can say, well, he's fighting tougher guys. It's not the same person. Like, if Colby Covington had a twin, I would accuse him of that being the twin, because they aren't the same person anymore.
I love it. I had so many more things with you. I know you got to run in 6 minutes. I do want to get to a couple. You said about feeling so good on Saturday. Maybe a great reason why. So you have great training partners and good teammates. Maybe like a great training partner like Dakota Bush. It would be so cool. Maybe talk to him later on today. We'll have some fun stuff for him. But how cool is it to have this team? It seems like they have you in a spot now, and they're like, you're just in that perfect NFL reference. Patrick Mahomes has the best coach. He has the tight end. He knows who to throw to. He's got the defensive coordinator. He just has this great spot. Do you feel that you're in just that perfect spot right now?
Yeah, I really do. The biggest fear is that I feel like I'm getting too good. I'm hitting my prime is what I meant to say. I'm hitting my prime, and I've got, maybe 4 or 5 years of prime. I think prime is 31 to 35. So I'm almost 31. And dude, I feel good. Like, I'm recovering better than I've recovered. My cardio feels better than I literally feel better than when I was 21. And I'm not making that up. I feel so good right now. I feel happy to be in the gym. I've got a happy life. I can't stop smiling when I'm walking around. And it's just, everything is perfect right now. I just need that next win that's going to put me in the top. I want to fight for the belt around 32 years old, 33 max, because that is like max prime right there. Yeah. Win the belt, defend it for a couple of years, make a crap ton of money, and then deuce out. Like that's the thing. So the biggest thing is like I'm not going to say no to a fight, but getting the right opponent is super important next. And I think BSD is the guy. Jalen Turner is the guy. I think beating those guys he's top 15. He's staying in the top 15. No more taking him out of the top 15.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take me out of the top 15 March 8th. So that kind of sucks. But hopefully I'll have something scheduled and be able to get back in.
What's March 8th, by the way?
Bobby Green versus
Ruffy.
Yeah, Roofy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about that, something you just said 19 seconds ago, and I was going to transition to one of my stuff. You talked about American Top Team and something about leadership. I've been seeing you on socials, and I am about you talking about other teammates. And when you go into that gym, you've been there for a couple years. You talked about the move and the travel and everything of that nature. Are you feeling a little bit more of a leader at one of, if not the greatest gym in the world, a leadership role? I know they make Kayla Harrison a captain, and I know it's kind of like a New York Yankee thing, a captain. And I'm not trying to say this to say this. I can foresee in a year, 2-3 years, Grant Dawson is kind of a captain at American Top Team. Are you feeling that type of mojo now when you walk into American Top Team? You're like, yeah, this is my gym. I'm a part of a great team, maybe a leader role of a great team.
I think eventually we kind of joke around that I'm going to be Mike's replacement, and part of that's a joke, and part of that is I really, really want to coach at American Top Team when I'm done. Don't tell Dan this, but I'd coach there for free if I retire from MMA and he said, you can coach, but I'm not paying you, I'd do it. I really like these guys. I really want to be a part of this team. And then, there's guys that I help out. I wouldn't say that I'm leading them, but whatever they need, I got them. My boy Francis Marshall is fighting in 5 weeks. My boy Dakota Bush is fighting in 8 weeks. I'm gonna help these guys as much. I came in to sparring this morning just to help out Francis. Like, I'm here to help these guys because they help me. If you don't help me, I'm not really interested in helping you. But if you're gonna help me, dude, you got a friend.
Yeah, I love that. You kind of mentioned the first part of this. You just won January UFC 312. Got a great win. They framed the domination win against Diego Ferreira. What is a absolute perfect fight 2025 for Grant Dawson? Can you calendar it up for us? And you're like, Dave, this is this, and then this. Perfect.
I'll tell you right now. This is not going to happen, but if I could control the universe, This is what would happen. I would get a call from my manager tomorrow that says they want to do you versus Michael Chandler in Miami in April. I say yes. I take Michael Chandler down. I beat the crap out of him for a round. He comes in hard, and I put a flying knee right to his face, put him down, TKO him, and then it's me versus Charles at the end of the year. I beat Charles, then it's me versus whoever wins between Islam and Arman.
Arman.
I'm assuming that Arman is going to fight. I think they're full of crap. I think that Arman is going to fight Islam next.
Really?
Yes, I don't think they're going to make him fight somebody else.
Okay.
I think they were just mad at him, and
sure. We all have done that, right? We've all done that. A friend, a family member, in the heat of the moment, it's like, hey, I'm never doing this again. I'm never coming to this family barbecue again. But when July 4th comes around, you go back to the family barbecue because that's what.
Well, if you've got 15 different barbecues to go to, it might take a couple of 4th of Julys to get back to your family barbecue. But what other barbecue is there? I would say Gamrot, but he lost to Dan Hooker, which was total BS, by the way, but that's not here or there.
Grant, I will rebuttal on that. I do think the UFC will have big eyes on the winner of Gaethje and Hooker. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think that makes no sense.
Really?
Already beat Dan Hooker in like 45 seconds, by the way.
Yeah.
And Justin Gaethje has lost to every good grappler he's fought. You're going to give him a shot who just lost to Max Holloway badly, by the way. It wasn't close. Lost to Max Holloway.
Yeah, that's true.
Gets blown out of the water. Let's say he beats Dan Hooker. He lost to Charles Oliveira. It's just so obvious that he's not going to win the belt. Like, there's a reason. There is a reason. I'm a fighter. Okay. I understand these things. When I see people say these things, I understand what's actually going on. There's a reason Islam Makhachev said, yeah, I'll take Justin Gaethje, who's lost to 5 guys that I've already beat. Yeah, of course you want that guy. It's an easy fight. You're going to take him down. You're going to choke him out, probably armbar him just like your boy Khabib did. Like, of course you want the guy that can't grapple and loses. Yeah, of course you don't want to fight the 28-year-old that has good cardio, good power, good wrestling. Like, of course you don't want to fight that guy. You know, like,
I gotcha. So in your eyes, you're thinking it's Arman or Charles next for Islam because it does seem like he does want to come at the late summer, that summer spot.
No, I think it is only Arman. I think Arman will fight for the belt next. That is my prediction.
Okay.
Charles Oliveira, I get it. But dude, look at his last, like he couldn't finish Michael Chandler. Like, dude, he couldn't finish a guy that's
Michael Chandler did that fun backpack thing 9 times though.
Who cares? Who cares?
Grant, I made a video about it. I thought it was I hated it. It's like you're losing. And like, it really bothered me too. Grant, I made a whole video on this. And I know you got to run. He's losing the fight. And you're losing your championship opportunity. You're probably losing the counter fight. You are losing everything. And he's kind of like smiling at the crowd and does the backpack thing. It's like, brother, like I don't know. There's something about, and I think you know this about me, like I love winning. And there's just certain times in life, it's like, hey, I got to do this. I got to win. And I'm not happy losing. I'm just not. I don't. If you are, I don't like it.
I think, here's my take. I think that Michael Chandler is a coward wearing the facade of an entertainer. I think that he doesn't actually mean the things that he says. I think that he is, I want the greatness and I want the, no, you don't, dude. No, you don't. You want to pretend like you're this big entertainer. Go fight Patty. I don't even like Patty. Go fight Patty. Go fight me. Fight BSD. Fight Jalen. Fight anybody that you already haven't lost to. And let's just get a freaking win. His best win, his only wins in the UFC are a non-tattooed Dan Hooker, so that doesn't even count, and Tony Ferguson on a 7-fight losing streak. Like, this is not, like, you are not good. Like, stop being afraid. He says, I'll see you at the top. It's like, bro, you're hiding at the top. Like, that's what you're doing. You're acting like this was all part of the plan. You just aren't good at fighting, man. You are a Division I national champion, and you can't stop a jiu-jitsu guy from taking you down? Like, dude, get out of here, man. Beat one guy. Beat one guy that is below you, and I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Fight Fiziev. Fight Patty. I even think you beat Patty, but I don't think you'll fight him. So that's my rant on Michael Chandler.
The one and only Grant Dawson. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Grant's the man.
Almost had to buy my wife a new computer.
Grant dropping facts. Dude, that was one of the greatest speeches I ever heard.
He needs a stool to get to the top by now. That's awesome, Dawson.
I know. Dude, I don't know how much you were in tune with that, Elle, but your husband just
No, I was in the room. I was listening.
I have it marked off. You're gonna see that video on Fight Bananas later on tonight.
Oh, heck yeah. Collab that one. That was gold.
Wow. I'm still kind of buzzing. That was good. There was a couple lines in there I'm trying to rethink back, but that was fun. All right. Well, talking about more fun, this person we have missed for multiple weeks in a row, and she's getting her awesome camera ready. So I'll just, kind of keep talking and do my thing. But that was a great stuff about Grant. Guys, we have Dakota Bush coming on in around 45 minutes. And now she is absolutely ready. One of the best strawweight fighters on this planet, the one and only Gillian Savage Robertson. What's up, G?
What is up? How are you guys? It feels like it's been so long.
I know. We haven't seen you in a minute. I haven't seen anybody in a minute.
That's what I'm saying. It's been too long without Fight Bananas.
Agreed.
We're using that line as well. We just had Grant Dawson have one of the best speeches ever in Fight Bananas history. So you have a lot to, come after. But, G, you always pass the test. G, for one, how are you? How's everything? How's been the last couple of weeks?
Everything's going good. I guess kind of trying to get myself like back into like a fight camp mindset, but like I don't have a fight yet. Like I just don't want to be able, I don't want to get a contract and be like, oh, that's my weight on the scale.
I got you. So we're easing back in.
Yeah. So like baby steps.
Talking about easing in back in. Yeah, say that 9 times fast. This Saturday, I literally talked for a living for regional fights at Island Fights. I still, every time, miss you to this day. People ask about you. But then I saw Saturday, you were actually at another event for Combat Night. I love that it doesn't matter where we get to and whatever careers that we're in. I love that we're on a Saturday night, you'll see us at the regional Florida MMA shows. I love it. I will never not go to them. Gee, how cool was it to be at your show at Combat Night Saturday?
Oh, it was absolutely awesome. I had one of my girls, she didn't get the win, unfortunately, but Katie went out there and fought and had a great fight, fought 3 hard rounds. So I was I went up there to be in the corner that night specifically to show her some love. Yeah. But like you were saying, like even Mitchell Chamali, the owner of Combat Night, came up to me. He's like, "Oh, just thank you so much for supporting." I'm like, "Thank you for starting my career." Literally, my first amateur fight ever was on Combat Night when I was 18 years old. I want to say I was their first female fight ever too.
Wow.
No way.
They even had for our fight only, they had a ring boy that they surprised us with, and it was awesome. Just this huge fat dude in a Speedo.
Please tell me you have a video of that.
I don't know. It probably is in the fight video that I have, like, of me.
You gotta look for that, and
I gotta
if you find it. We're gonna play it on the Sunday.
I was gonna say, hit Mitchell up for us, G, and say if you can send it to Dave. I will absolutely next week on this show. That will be definitely live for sure, for sure. Where was the show? Was it in? It was in Orlando, right? Was it at Gilt nightclub or somewhere else?
Yeah, it was in Orlando. It wasn't at Gilt. I can't remember. The Beecham, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it was a cool venue though. It really was. It was set up almost like a theater, so it.
Oh, okay.
It was just dope viewing for fans, and I guess dope. So like a dope setup for everybody to watch.
I heard the Dragon, Lyoto Machida, his sons were on the card. Is that right?
Yeah, both. Unfortunately, both of them lost, but both of his sons were on the card making their debuts.
Aren't they super young? How old are
they? Yeah, I'm assuming they're probably like around whatever age you can start. Like they're very young, definitely, probably like 16-ish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're not they're not like 11. No, they're
no. But I was saying they're not 18 yet, right? Like they're.
I'm not sure if they fought MMA or kickboxing either.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 16-year-old, 17-year-old kickboxing. 15.
I don't know the rule on age for Florida.
Oh no, we in Pensacola we saw a 15-year-old versus a 14-year-old kickboxing. It was awesome. These kids are so good.
Honestly, really impressive. I've not seen a kid that age with that much technical skill.
So good. Okay, put anything else on Combat Night? Any highlights? I saw a great picture with you and Hannah. Hannah and Mitchell. So it seemed like a fun night.
Oh yeah, just went up there Friday, got to hang out with Hannah a little bit. She got to spar with Hannah a little bit. I'm like, I feel like she's my favorite rounds because like we can just beat the shit out of each other and just like be sitting there giggling on the side of the mat after. And I feel like there's nobody I can get as hard of round. Like literally we fight each other every time we spar. And it's just we both like are like, oh, that was good.
I love it. I'm intrigued. Did she talk to you at all, or did you ask her at all anything about the GFL thing that she's kind of involved with now?
Yeah, obviously it showed as they posted she was drafted for Team Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's still a little bit up in the air of what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But that we know that she was drafted.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's the going right now. I literally just listened to John Anik talk to Ray Longo, who has literally fighters that's in the GFL. He's supposed to be a manager. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know what's going on.
Nobody does.
I've
asked all the fighters. They're like, I just hope I get paid at least once.
I know. No, but he's got paid at least once, so he's happy. That's what he said. He's like, I got a little something. But I'm gonna put a picture over us, and we're trying to fight Bananas 2025. We're trying to get there a little bit, but this is the Saudi Arabia card. I love this card. A lot of Fusion XL guys you saw, maybe just even this past week, or maybe they already left, like Lucas, Terrence, and Mike Beast Boy Davis. Jasmine's on the card. Izzy is in the main event. We got a heavyweight main event. We haven't even talked about the co-main event, MVP versus Shara Bullet. A lot of great stuff there. G, what's a couple fights that really jump at you?
You got me like leaning in, looking at it. So as you said, all the Fusion boys, I'm like, I think those are like their 3 most explosive guys you just named that are on this card.
Yes.
So 3 very exciting fights there. Jasmine Jasdavicius, I'm like, I think like I have to support her. My fellow Canadian, my fellow like heavy ground and pound, heavy top control grappler. I'm like, we're very similar, just 2 different weight classes. So I'm rooting for her hard. And as you said, the co-main event, honestly, that's the one that's like got my attention.
Yeah.
I don't know what way it's gonna go, but I'm super excited for that matchup.
Total greens. Elle, we haven't even hit on the co-main event. I think it's kind of the people's main event in the way. It's everyone is excited for that fight.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Shara is fun. Shara is very fun.
Yeah.
I don't find MVP to be a very exciting fighter. And I say this every time, and people are like, why? And it's like, he's boring with exciting bursts. Like most of his fights, there's so much of this. And just like waiting for a time to explode, right? And I get it, like, but so to me, I don't find him like crazy exciting. I don't think Shara Bullet is going to take a single step backwards in this entire fight. And I think that's what's going to make the fight exciting, personally.
Yeah.
But okay. I don't know if I have a pick. I think MVP can make it really, he can slow it down by using that length and using that, like, his little hopping that he does, like he can make it more boring, which I think helps him in this fight.
I was going to say, with that, saying that, is that you think he has a better chance to win because of that and Bullet is not going to be happy with that? Or you think he's not going to be able to win the fight if he's just on the outside bouncing?
No, I'm just saying I think that's his path to victory if he wins. I would probably lean Shara just because unless he runs into something. Because like I said, I don't think he's going to take a step backwards. And he's very like, it's just a heavy pressure fighter. And MVP has crazy speed. And he has those ridiculous, like, explosive moments. And so he can absolutely counter him and finish him. I don't have a pick. I don't have a dog in this fight.
Okay.
I just hope it's not boring.
Okay. All right. G, I know I would assume this would be the absolute perfect for you. So I'm going to put this question up, make you nice and big. Is the Miami card the absolute perfect spot for Gillian to fight in 2025?
I think it's like 10 minutes away from my house. So absolutely. Yes. I would love to fight on the Miami card. It's perfect timing too. April, I think is like ideal for me. Before it was even announced, I kept on saying either April or May is good for me. So it just came up in perfect time. I'm still like fingers crossed over here, just waiting for the phone call. So Dean keeps on telling me every week, he's like, I think they're going to be calling soon. I think they're going to be calling soon. And he says on Tuesdays is when they go into the war room to decide. So we'll wait today. I'm sitting here waiting for do we get a text today?
All right. I'm going to text you right before you go to bed around 6:40 p.m. I'm texting you at 6:40 saying if you got a call today. All right.
I like that. 6:40 right before I go to bed.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here all night. Also, Dean Thomas was literally, it was post-fight interviews this past weekend in Miami for Karate Combat. It was post-fight interviews / comedian. He was on fire. I don't know if you guys saw like the one clip that were around, like Tyson Nam, who's a UFC vet, been around forever. And like he won the fight and was talking. And then like he just mentioned that he was 40 years old. Dean Thomas, like in the middle of his post-fight winning speech, he's like, 40, hot damn. It was so funny. Like Dean was on one Saturday night. He was good. Or Friday night, right? Yeah, Friday.
He was doing great on the commentary too. They had him on the desk. They had him on the mic. They had him all everywhere. And I feel like honestly that man amazes me sometimes on just like he is willing to do anything. He's willing to, you put him in any position, he'll find his way to do it. And he did a great job everywhere. And Karate Combat in general was just awesome to watch on Friday night.
I was so bummed out I couldn't go. I was in Pensacola for Island Fights. I was going to try to get the band back together. I was going to maybe try to go to that same barbecue spot. I don't know. I've been missing it. But like I said, I think everyone was out of town. I think Elle was out of town. I was out of town.
Everybody was gone.
And I know. I think
Gillian and I can go get barbecue whenever. So maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to do a couple Sunday morning brews in person.
Oh,
we should.
Goodness.
Like
no, we can work that out.
3rd or 4th week, we need to like just show up somewhere.
Sunday morning brunch.
Sunday morning brunch. Elle, you got the Fight Bananas credit card, so just relax, all right?
Relax.
One last thing, G, we know you have to go. We'll let you run, but we've had this really cool picture. I know it might be hard for you to read. I apologize, but I think you'll get the gist of it. This Saturday starts 11 straight Saturdays for the UFC. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia, multiple pay-per-views, fight nights. We got UFC Seattle in there, multiple Apex shows, a lot of really, really good fights. Is there a fight or two or a show that you're just like, oh my goodness, this can be kind of has your eye, sharply?
I guess I haven't really looked into the cards specifically. The only way I've looked into the cards is which one I want to be on. I'm like, so okay. I've looked at a lot of the locations. I know where a lot of them are at. And please don't put me on the Mexico City one, please. But
if you say that, is it mostly tax-wise, and just
no? It's elevation for there.
Elevation.
It's oxygen. Yeah. I'm like, just if I did fight in Mexico City, I would have to go out there probably 3 weeks to a month early, honestly, like to get just acclimated to that kind of elevation. And it's just, that's a hassle in general instead of going out 5 days before. So, and being in Mexico, trying to figure out food, weight cut, things like that. It's just, I feel like adds, I don't know, a whole another level of stress to fight camp that I would just prefer not to have. So it's strictly the elevation, honestly.
Okay. There you go. All right. Well, hopefully, guys, Jillian will get a phone call later on today or tonight. I will text her, and we'll see. Maybe in a week or two, we can, have a very cool artwork. G, I told you we would get you out nice and early. Enjoy today. And then hopefully Sunday morning, you guys will have a great show. Izzy versus Nasruddin Imamov, a really cool main event, a good co-main event. Jasmine, hey, maybe you guys can have Jasmine on Sunday. Who knows? After a win.
She was doing her whole camp in what was it?
Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand. Yeah,
literally opposite time zone. And I was like, I need to get you to come on our show, but it's like 1:00 in the morning where she was at. So maybe we can grab her afterwards.
All right, I like it. G, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon, friend.
All right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you Sunday.
There we go, Gillian the Savage Robertson. That was good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I got some more fun artwork for you if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, wait. I got to push another button so it's not 2 or 3. Dude, this is we are, executive producer of the year pretty soon. By the way, Sunday morning, you will see this.
It's the Morning Brew with Elle Dawson and Gillian Robertson. Brought to you by Fight Bananas.
I like it.
Yeah. Elle doesn't love the picture. I'm sorry. I got to do it again.
My hair looks weird.
All right. Let's go. This is, I'm going to definitely bring this up. The first picture I don't have, but the second one I do. Guys, so yesterday, Bo Nickel, one of the great middleweight fighters on this planet, very, I think one of the hot prospects, undefeated, big future in front of him. On his show, he's like, hey, I know the main event for UFC 314. It's Volkanovski and Ilya. It's booked. It's done. It's 100% confirmed. He said confirmation. So every site ran with it. We didn't run with it here at Fight Bananas, but every other site ran with it. And then this morning, we saw this. He goes, glad to be the UFC official fight announcer from UFC. All right, guys, it's not official yet. So Bo Nickel.
I think what he was trying to say is like it was announced because I had thought it was announced too. And then like everybody went nuts with it. And yeah, I don't think it's actually been officially announced yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No. I think that's what's the main event too, because Dustin, ready for the next slide. Dustin goes, he is not fighting in Miami. Couldn't make it happen. Let's just be honest. I would assume Dustin's swan song, he is the main event. It would just be such a lackluster thing if he was the co-main event or the first fight and he won or lost, and it's like, you got to watch more fights. No. Dustin is the card. Like his swan song. So for him to be on UFC 314, that means Volk and Ilya couldn't be. So I think Volk and Ilya is on that card, and we'll see Dustin down the road. Maybe 315, 316, 317. We'll see. But I think that's what I get from it. Elle.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think we're going to see Dustin sometime this spring, but I do not think it's going to be Miami. So
okay. Well, yeah, you said that.
I do not think. I mean, I know it's not going to be Miami. I just want Grant to get on that card. Miami would be awesome. We wouldn't have to travel. You just stay home, do the weight cut here.
You Grant and Gillian on the same card?
No, Grant and Gillian. You say it like I actually do anything. Dude,
we talked about this off air yesterday. We are super supportive husbands and wives. You need that. It's a team, Elle.
Top-notch wife right here. Just saying.
I got one too, dude. I might be busy this Saturday night. You don't say what I told you, but I might be doing something Saturday.
Yeah, it might. Might. I might be doing something too.
Oh,
might be in South Florida.
Unbelievable. Spilling the beans like crazy.
I agree.
Grant and Jill in the same card means fight as me. I know. I just, one thing, Dawson, if I could say this, I didn't think that buying a box was like a thing. I thought like you could buy it. They're all sold out before the tickets sell out because it's like companies and gyms and managements. Like we
gotta be earlier if we want to do that.
Yeah, it's like I want a box.
We'll find one. All
right. I got a couple more fun artworks. I feel like did we finish on the GFL? Do you feel like you're good on it?
Yeah. I just think it's bizarre. And like it's, if we're just going off of what we're showing currently, Fabricio Verdum is on 2 different teams, according to this MMA Junkie article.
The Miami heavyweights are Junior Dos Santos, who's the game-bred bare-knuckle MMA world heavyweight champion, and Roman Despace, who's been on a 2-fight...
Robellis Despain?
What's his name?
Robellis Despain?
Robellis Despain.
There you go.
He's on a 2-fight karate combat winning streak, and he loves it there. I hear that he doesn't want to go anywhere else.
I don't really know what's happening. Jeremy Stevens just had a killer fight on Knucklemania and was talking about how much he loves it there too, and now he's on Team Miami as well. It's I'm kind of worried this isn't actually gonna happen.
I'm telling you.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Dropping later on tonight, guys. You will see. I did a video earlier. It's going to drop around 7:00 about Paddy Pimblett and Money Moicano. Tell me this fight doesn't make absolute sense, Elle. Tell me this shouldn't be next.
No, it absolutely makes sense right now. I'm for it. Like I absolutely for watching Moicano absolutely obliterate Paddy Pimblett. Like Moicano's number 10, Paddy's number 13. Neither of them are booked. Paddy wanted to fight Chandler. Chandler wants to wait for nobody. So yeah, make it happen. I'm all about it.
You ready for a fun game? Right now, it is January 28th. We are recording. This will go out everywhere in the world. Right now, guess the betting favorite and the odds on that fight. On the opening, not on fight night. Who opens up as the betting favorite and where?
For Moicano versus Paddy?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it should be Moicano. That's insane if it's not. Okay, absolutely insane if it's not.
So I'm making a post. This is amazing. This is great content. Do you have Moicano what? Minus what?
I don't think he'll get the respect he deserves. So minus 170.
Okay, that's a great number. So you have minus 170.
Are these numbers you have, or are you just like?
Oh no, it's not even announced yet. I don't have. I swear, I'm just.
Sometimes people do like the odds. I think Moicano should be more like a minus 225, but I think he won't get. I think if we had seen him fight Dariush because I think he would have smashed Dariush.
Yeah.
I think he would have gotten more respect, but because he's like, oh, people are like, oh, he lost to Islam in the first round. It's like, dude took the fight on a day's notice, ended up having to cut an extra pound than he was originally planning to. And he's a big dude and looked super good on the feet.
Yeah.
Like, super good on the feet.
So you have Moicano minus 170?
Where is it going to happen too? Do what?
You have it minus 170. Is that your spot?
No, I'm gonna give him the credit he deserves. Let's go minus 200.
Minus 200. Okay, I'm marking this off. L has Moicano minus 200. Dave Van Auken, that's me, by the way, everyone. Our names aren't out there. I don't know why it's not up there. I maybe doing too much.
Where are our names? Usually it's there.
I'm doing too much stuff with the pictures, I guess. I don't know. I am going to say that Patty Pimblett will open up as the bet-in favorite. I got Patty at minus 130.
They're insane.
That's what I say.
Insane.
I think you are right, El, that the market and the people will overreact of what we just saw. They saw Pimblett stop Bobby Green in a round, and he's just getting healthy. And the last thing they saw from Moicano is that he lost within a round, and I'm not saying it's right, El. I will bet on Moicano regardless, but I think they're going to make Patty a favorite.
That's nuts. That's wild. I mean, if they do, that's awesome for everybody betting.
Look at that.
Austin
says Patty minus 150.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
I thought Elle would have made money away.
No, he asked me what I think was actually going to happen.
Yeah.
No, I think Moicano should be like a minus 500 favorite over Patty. But I'm saying what's actually going to happen is going to be closer to that.
Did you see what Gillian just sent us?
No.
Oh my goodness. It's great. We're live on air. This is the show.
Did she send it to us or you?
To Fight Bananas.
Oh, on Instagram?
Yeah. It's so good. You will love it.
Hang on.
This is the show.
Wow.
Do you want to say, or what do you?
So 5 minutes ago, GFL founder Darren Owen told Ariel Helwani that he had final say over draft picks and will trade fighters to make better matchups. He says he took the team manager's opinions into account when making the teams, though. So I just don't understand the point of the.
El, I say this all the time. There are so many things that I feel like sometimes we know or say stuff. I think one of the best things about you and I, especially in Fight Bananas and as a whole, just as people moving forward, if you're honest to people, if you really, guys, I really think Grant Dawson's going to beat Benoit St. Denis. If I didn't, I wouldn't say it, right? Like we say what we really mean. The GFL, this is their first time to the market. This is like, guys, this is our first show. We're going to do a draft. We're going to have Brendan. We have all these people come here. We have effects, AI. This is the first time we're going to see you, the audience. And now you come out 4 days later and say it's fake.
I got to give Chris some credit earlier. Christopher J said, and this was a real thing. Apparently at the very beginning of the draft, before the draft actually happened, they literally accidentally threw up the complete teams on the screen and then took it down real quick and started the draft. So it was literally already done before the draft even happened.
Yeah. It's horrible. It is like, I couldn't imagine a show with realism comes out and their very first thing is fake. And then announce it that's fake. Just like let us be mysterious about it, or if you think, hey, you do whatever you want. For him to say that to me is like, I can't believe anything now.
He kind of had to, because he didn't make the coaches not talk about it, because you had Longo doing interviews saying he didn't get to pick his team, and so clearly there's nothing in their contracts that says they can't talk about it. So it's like you almost have to. because like you have to make some level of statement. Like, yeah, they could have done something cool, but everything has just been so strange. The weight classes, for example, like they're like, oh, well, we're going to do heavier, like each weight class is going to go up by 10 to 15 pounds. So guys don't have to cut as much weight. It's like, but in reality, what we're doing is we're calling 145 bantamweight so that Renan Barão, who's 90 years old in MMA years, can still be a bantamweight. Yeah. But he's really just fighting at featherweight, and he's still going to have to cut as much weight as he would to fight in that weight class, which is going to be a lot because he's old. So it's like, I don't really understand the weight classes and how it's supposed to help.
Going even deeper on that, Elle, I literally talked to someone at Island Fights, and they thought you can't do that. If they fight in Miami, it's like, it's rules. If you say, hey, this is a featherweight fight.
The commission allow it?
No, they said they wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, no. Like,
well, that's why if you go on Tapology and you see somebody like Demetrius Johnson is called the bantamweight champion of one on Tapology because he didn't actually make 125 when he was fighting there.
Right.
Like, that's why it says that, because
it's a unified rule set.
Don't allow that. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. And theirs aren't even like one where one just gives you the 10-pound allowance with the hydration test. Theirs are literally made up weight classes. Women's bantamweight is 140.
That's not a thing.
Strawweight is flyweight. Atomweight is 110. Like that's actually a really good point. I don't know where are they going to do these fights that they're going to be allowed to create their own weight classes.
And bet again, if you would assume people are going to bet on it and stuff of that nature. So it's just so many red flags because you have the commissioner saying it's fake off the rip. That's not great. And then again, on a football game in the Super Bowl, you don't change the rules. You don't go, hey, first down is going to be 15 yards this Sunday because of 10. Like, it's a unified rule set. The GFL, I'm sorry, I know everyone says the UFC. It's the MMA unified rule set. The UFC goes under it.
I think this is probably the plan. Every fight becomes a catch weight. Which is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, and it also it devalues the fighters. Dean Toole, you're always in the comment section waving at us.
I know. Look at that great picture of him, dude. He looked phenomenal this past weekend at Island Fights 86, dude. He's lifting some weights, Elle. He's throwing iron. All right. You look good.
Let's go, Dean. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So can I tell that
coming on the show? Usually he only comes to wave at us if he's coming on.
Let me see if he messaged us. If he texts, dude, Dean has an open line to the show. You know that. Like he's literally if I'm Batman, he's who's the the guy that takes care of him?
Oh, Alfred.
Alfred. Dean is Alfred. He's in charge. Dean's always in charge. So okay, at Island Fights, I've been kind of waiting for this story. So this past Saturday night was Island Fights 86. Guys, go to their YouTube channel, sub it, watch it. Great fights, a ton of great fights. The co-main event, Elle, let's just say it doesn't last long. Go watch that fight, okay? I'm not going to tell you what happened. But in the main event, it was a boxing main event. Dylan Cushion. This Commissioner Gordon. That's actually a better one. There you go. I'm a wordsmith, guys. I'm a wordsmith. In the main event was a boxing. Dylan Cushion is Devin Cushion's little brother, but he's doing really big things. Really, I talked to his dad. Said he put in a lot of work, getting very, very talented. Against another boxer, and the boxer didn't make weight. He was over in weight. So for one, Dylan had this cold line after the weigh-ins, and he's like, you missed weight. You couldn't even beat yourself. How the F do you think you're going to beat me tomorrow night? I was like, damn, that was a good line. That's awesome. So let's just say there was bad blood going into it, right? The corners were getting into it. It was a lot of fun, crazy stuff. Oh, Sean, did you watch it? Sean's going the spoiler alert. Hey, Sean Sterling maybe watched Island Fights live. So, Elle, what happens is they're boxing. The other kid, Dylan's doing good work boxing, winning the fight. The other kid kind of gets inside a couple times, and Dylan's kind of like grappling him off. He's like, kind of like, get off me. Like I'm winning, about to win this fight. Dylan gets him one time, kind of grapples him. The kid, the nice guy, his name was Gilbert, says he hurt his ankle. So now his cornermen are really upset because he's kind of hurt. He's jawing at the other cornerman. And all of a sudden, in a long story short, you think you're about to watch a brawl happen outside the ring. Okay? You got cornermen, you got people in the crowd, you got a lot of stuff happening. The best part about this, and I'm going to give this guy a ton of love, Devin Adams. So now me and Pearl are commentating on it, and we're kind of seeing the action happen. Ryan's moving. All these guys are moving. They're trying to break it up because, dude, it could have got dirty, bad, quick. One of his fighters, oh yeah, by the way, Nick Pinto started all this. Nick Pinto was talking so much trash to the other side. Nick Pinto was the main reason why this thing got going. Dave, thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, brother. So the thing that I didn't like, so the Gilbert's corner had 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5 about to fight outside the ring. All of a sudden, one of his kind of teammates snuck into the ring, kind of like what Nurmagomedov's team did to Conor McGregor, and started kind of almost going after Dylan. Devin Adams, who let's just say doesn't weigh what he did when in his fighting career, is maybe a little bit bigger of a man, jumped up like a spider monkey through the ropes, like he was Usain Bolt, grabbed this other guy off of Dylan. It was crazy. It was a scene. Nick.
Wow.
He goes, no, Nick didn't start. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Nick didn't start it. He was just Nick is good with words on a fight night. Let's just say that, okay? Come on, lies, Nick. Come on the show if you want right now, Nick. We got an interview in 15 minutes, but if you want to come on, come with it. But I don't know
if we have time.
It was so much fun. Oh my goodness. Like, as a commentator, it's a weird thing because it's like, is the fight over? All right, here we go.
7% Nick's fault.
I told you, there you go. No lies there, no lies. But it's a weird spot. But I'm telling you guys, go watch back Island Fights 86 on their YouTube channel. Co-main event was insane. A lot of high-level prospects, some great kickboxing action, like always. It was a good night. Good night. Oh, hey, we missed you out there in Pensacola.
I know. That would have been fun.
Yep.
Was it snowing in Pensacola?
Yes. No, it wasn't snow in. It snowed. I'm not even going to – on Friday, I talked to the head brass there. The road, I-10, one of the main roads that you get from my house to their house, it's how I get there. It was closed on Thursday night. And I'm driving there Friday because the roads were so bad.
That's wild.
I'm good. I'm at the I'm not liberty to discuss on a public platform. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you. What a scene. What a scene, guys. I'm telling you, you got to go to Island Fights. And their next show, March 7th, Biloxi, Mississippi at the Hard Rock. It's going to be absolutely bananas. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. March 7th.
Dean, when are you going to do a show at the Hard Rock here?
Ooh. What, you think like an Island Fight show, or you think a bare knuckle? How about a game bred bare knuckle MMA show at the Hard Rock?
That'd be fun.
Ooh.
That would be super fun.
That'd be insane.
Just do something that I can drive to.
Well, like I said, so it was crazy. So, no, as soon as I got into Tallahassee on the highway, there was snow all down the banks. All down the banks. And when I got to, Dean's residence, like his house still had snow on top of the house.
That's nuts.
Whoa!
Is Hard Rock the Hard Rock here?
Wow, Dean's breaking news. Look at this.
It's happening.
You never know. Oh, big thing.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
2025.
It's only like a 40-minute drive from my house. I'll be there.
Yeah, we've done that. All right, let's throw a couple more pictures. I asked this to Grant when he was on earlier. I don't know if you saw it or didn't, but this call out this morning talked about Rafael Fiziev saying, I don't have a fight. Benny, you got screwed last week. You don't have a fight. How about we fight each other? Oh, what do you think of that? Do you like Rafael Fiziev versus Benny DeRouche?
I think that Darius should I think he should accept the first call out, which was Grant's. Fight him in Miami. That would be sick. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Benny kind of implied that the UFC was offering him something. Like I don't know if they had anything specific, but the way he said it in interviews, he was like, the UFC has promised me that they're going to give me something big next. So chances are he's not going to say yes to fighting Grant. But yeah, I don't hate it. It makes sense. Dariush is 9, Fiziev is 11. I don't like that fight for Dariush. I mean, obviously, I don't think Grant's a good matchup for him either, but
did you hear Grant really thinks it's going to be Benoit Saint Denis for him as a wife?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think that's probably what'll happen.
Okay, would you rather him fight Dariush or Benoit Saint Denis?
Of course, I think Dariush is ranked higher.
Okay,
and I think it's an easier fight. I think Dariush is getting old. But so yeah, I definitely would love that fight for him. Anybody with the name value and the ranking that Dariush has is always great for Grant, But no, it doesn't not make sense to do him and Fiziev. I wouldn't take that fight if I were Dariush. I think Fiziev is a scary dude. Obviously, he's coming off the injury, so maybe he's less scary now than he normally is, but probably not.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. We're going to do one last UFC Saudi Arabia. UFC 312 is next week. We'll get into Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Hopefully, we have Weili versus Tatiana Suarez in the co-main event. We saw Tatiana pull out before a couple times. So hopefully that fight stays intact because, God dang it, that card needs it out. That card needs those fights because not the greatest pay-per-view card. But all right, let's go into it. Pick a winner. Let's start main event. You got Izzy or Imavov? Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Imavov.
Wow. By decision, or he stops him?
Probably decision.
Okay. Yeah, pay-per-view is bad.
I'm very close on this.
Okay. No, I
very slightly into Imavov.
I'm slightly leaning Izzy, and it's like my last time. If he loses this, I asked this. If Israel Adesanya loses this fight, what's next for him? Does he? I'm not trying to be so hyper. Does he ever fight again in the UFC? Like, really?
Oh,
like he's too big to be on a featured fight of a pay-per-view. Like, that's Israel Adesanya. It's like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue when you were such a dominant champion. If you do start to get old, it's like, what's next? Because it's so hard to fight backwards,
right?
And I just don't know what there is for him, which is a shame,
Co-main event, Bullet versus Page. I think you made your pick earlier pretty loud. You think the Bullet will get it done?
No, I honestly am 50-50 on this. I think I'm leaning Shara a tiny bit, but no, I just, like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight, but probably.
With that being said, if you're a betting, someone who maybe likes to bet on stuff, maybe like i.e. me, if you're 50-50, MVP is the underdog and he's more of a veteran, wouldn't you think that maybe betting on MVP makes sense?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Well,
I don't, this one's weird to me. I feel like we know
I love your vigor for this fight.
We know so little about both these guys in the UFC. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
MVP beat the great Kevin Holland.
Shara only fights once a year, and he can only fight in the Middle East. Like, MVP has had a very lackluster fight against Kevin Holland, and then a loss to Ian Gary where he got out grappled. So it's so hard to say, Yeah, bet it to go the distance. I don't hate that, honestly. But I at the same time, like, I could see a finish. I am very up in the air on this fight. I do not have a good. This is not a fight I would have picked to talk about for betting bananas.
All right. The featured fight is out in the heavyweight division. Two boys I think have, sweat and bled in American Top Team. Sergey Pavlovich, which I think he's being grossly maybe underrated. A couple losses in a row. One was to Tom Aspinall, who hasn't lost to Tom Aspinall. Rosenstrike has had some good wins, has some bad losses. Do you think Sergey gets back on the winning side, or do you think he's just faltering?
I could see Sergey winning this one. I think he should beat him.
Yeah.
I'm not like 100% on it,
Okay.
I would lean him.
We got to lean.
It's a lot of leans today.
A lot of leans. Sad Nurmagomedov versus Charles Oliveira's younger cousin.
Are they actually related?
No, they're not. They're not. I'm sorry.
So I was looking at Vicinius Oliveira, and he beat Ricky Simone recently. Like,
it's a good one.
Saeed's like,
yeah,
he beat Gaffarov. It's a good win. Lost to Jonathan Martinez. Got outstruck. Lost to Ione Barcelos too.
Who doesn't lose to Ronnie Barcelos? Okay,
A lot of people, honestly. I pick him all the time. I love Ione Barcelos.
dude, he's so good.
He's like, he's like the old dog I always pick.
Yeah,
and I'm usually wrong, but he did beat Saeed. You know,
he beat Peyton Tablet.
Yeah, I think that was too much too soon for Talbot.
I agree.
Ione's a vet. Like, he's super well-rounded. I am going to take...
Who are you taking?
I think I'm going to take Oliveira.
I like it. I am too.
I think he's got the length and the striking to deal with Saeed. We've seen Saeed get outstruck before by other good strikers.
Maybe the sleeper fight, the people's main event, Zaim versus Mike Beast Boy Davis. Mike Davis has been on this show multiple times, a lot of long tender with Mike Beast Boy Davis and Fight Bananas. Elle, who are you picking? Are you going to pick against?
Oh, no, I'm not picking against Mike. Mike is a stud. Mike's a
He's
super
good.
underrated guy.
Yeah,
I know
good.
we like him too, but this is not my bias just talking. Like, he's super explosive. He's got great wrestling, really good control on the ground. I think ZM's a super clean fighter. He's very well-rounded. Who did he beat? Was it Levy he beat last?
I just saw. You getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually just looked into it.
No, Matt Frivola. That's right. He beat Frivola.
Yeah.
Need him. Like, he's got great striking. I just feel like Davis, he does such a good job staying safe on the way into the grappling, and I just can't see Sam being able to beat him in the wrestling. So I think Michael get this one done. I see a decision. I see a decision win.
Also, James Lynch asked Mike Davis under this Fight Bananas banner about, contracts and stuff of this nature. This is his last fight on his contract. He could pull a free agency. He could be on a 5-fight win streak and be like, hey, I'm going to the PFL or Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA or GFL if that exists. I don't know. Like, could happen.
I hate seeing guys as good as Mike fight out their contract. I think that's a risky business.
He says he's betting on himself.
Sign you. Like,
they offered him something, but he wanted more.
Wow.
Betting on himself.
I mean, good for him. It's a risky move. I hope it works out. Hope it pays off.
All right. One last fun thing. I didn't even queue you up for this before the show, but I know we got Dakota Bush coming on 5-6 minutes, and I think this will be a very fun activity. Anyone in the comments, play along with us. So we know the main event of the first pay-per-view of the year. We just saw Makhachev versus Moicano. Next week, we got Dricus versus Sean Strickland. Next one, UFC 313. We have Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. Let's skip 14. I think we both think it's going to be Volk and Ilya Topuria. I think that's kind of the word on the street, Miami. Pick another main event. Go on the limb. You can be really safe. You can go, if you would have said last year Pantoja versus Kai Asakura, everyone would have said you're crazy, but that was a pay-per-view main event. Give me a pay-per-view main event that we will see in 2025 in the UFC.
I gotta start checking these notes again before our
this is just live. This is live.
This was one you're really springing it on me.
This is a stock question I got. I'm sorry. Because I have one. You want me to throw you mine?
This is a good one.
Wow. Good
it's
one.
A very good one.
Oh.
I can see this too. I'm gonna steal everybody from the comments.
Aaron T, I like it.
Shemaya versus DDP. I could see Kai Kara France and Pantoja. Not a lot else makes sense right now. But for Pantoja, there's not a whole lot of people left for him. So
yeah, I like it.
All of those are good.
All those are really good. I got this is Sean Strickland. It's a very good one. Mine, because I think it's a lock. We're gonna see Shavkat versus Bilal Muhammad in 2020.
Oh yeah,
that's a lock.
Yeah, for sure. I thought you were asking me for like a one nobody would see coming.
Good, Christian's on it. I'm gonna give Aaron T some love. Aaron T, good job.
Chimaev versus DDP is a good one. I think that's one that people maybe don't think is gonna happen right away, but I do think we're gonna see that in 2025.
I like it. Talking about giving someone love. How about this man? 14-4, tender years of 30 years old, mashing it up there at the Intuit Dome. That was a nice picture. I saw the selfie there with Grant and Winters in the octagon. Going back, fighting soon, Mr. Dakota Bush. Dakota, what's up, brother?
How's it going, man?
Going good, man. How are you?
Can't complain. Here in Missouri, it's a little colder than down in South Florida, but I'm headed back this weekend, so warmer days are in my future.
Good. What are you doing out there in Missouri, man?
We just came up, see a little family before camp starts, so just get so busy during fight camps, you don't really get the time to come home, and I had to get some of my shotguns to bring down for turkey season too. So,
wow, dude,
So I know Dakota has a goal to shoot a turkey in every single one of the 50 states. How many states do you have left?
God bless America.
A lot. I have a lot left, and I've hunted in Florida. Will be my 10th state. So
so
a good chunk to go. Right,
that's pretty good. So you shot a turkey in 9 different states, Dakota?
So far, yes.
Dude, what a man! Like, dude, you should have a Mountain Dew commercial with American fireworks spitting behind you. That's
if we can get a hold of them, let's do it.
Hey, we're trying. We're working on it, man. All right, you're coming off a first round rear naked choke win at November 1st at NEF. I saw you do have fight news, right? Is it announced? Can we announce it? Is it out there already?
They haven't released it yet.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten a contract yet, but it's going to be a good one. It's another UFC vet. Super, super good matchup for me, and just excited. This is the fight we're looking for to hopefully put me right back in.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of fights this year that ended up getting scratched that you were willing to take. Like, just throw it out there, tell the people how much what you're willing to do to get back to the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, I got a call yesterday from Jason asking if I could make weight this Friday for Saudi Arabia. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So it would have been a nightmare. I mean, the weight cut wouldn't have been the hardest part. I think it would have been just the travel from here to there, losing all that time, that you would be spending cutting instead you're on a plane. So, but I'd have made it work.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Mike, Arman pulls his back, Moicano jumps up. Was that even? I would assume your ears are spruced. Be like, oh, give me one of these guys. Give me Benny. I would love that.
Man, that's exactly what was going on. Because there was talks. Nothing was ever like put into motion, but they were thinking, hey, maybe Grant will jump up to fight Beneil, and then that leaves Diego or Beneil without an opponent. And I was, hey, let's do 170. I could make 70 on, if you guys give me a little extra time, I'll make 70 today and fight either one of them. But Dariush, obviously, he was making win and show money to not step in the cage. So you can't argue with his decision there.
Yeah. That's a good one. I hate to say I think your dream of killing turkeys in all 50 states might be the real American dream. The second back American dream is working and making money doing nothing. Like, that's like a lot of people would love to do that. So Benny had a good week. Let's just say that in UFC 310. He had a good week.
Yeah, you can't complain. I mean, it sucks when you don't get to fight, but when you show up on fight week and you just get to watch and you're leaving with a paycheck, that ain't too bad either.
That's for sure.
No, 100%. And I honestly, I know Grant said, like, oh, I would have fought Beneil if it was offered. Do you think that was more of Benny's decision than the UFC's, or the other way around?
I'm sure they probably talked about it, and it's hard to say. You never know if they were just like, "Hey, do you want to fight?" And he said, "No, I just want my show." And they're like, "Well, we'll pay you your win as well." I don't feel like he's the guy that would have said no to Grant.
Right.
Not even if it was Islam or whoever. I don't think he would have said no. I think it was just how the cards that he was dealt, and ended up being not horrible, considering that he got paid at least,
Yeah.
Dakota, I got one for you, my man. So I see I don't know if it's yours or anything, but there's a great basketball picture behind you. And there's Michael Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. So, like, Michael Jordan went to North Carolina. So before he made it to the big leagues, whatever that is, NBA, MLB, UFC, he's at North Carolina getting taken care of at one of the greatest colleges in the world, unlimited funds there. He can do his thing. I don't think people realize, I don't think the common MMA fan realize how hard regional MMA is. Before you get to the highest level, it's almost the hardest because it's dark, it's cold, there's not a lot of funds in there. You're trying to train the best you can at the best gym in the world, maybe at American Top Team, but there's just a lot of obstacles, to get there before you make it to that highest level. Am I onto something? Am I off something? It's just regional MMA is tough.
It is. You nailed it. I mean, getting to the UFC is a hard feat in itself, but trying to get back there a second time is even harder. And the biggest thing that I have in my corner is my wife. She's super supportive. She allows me to continually to chase this dream. And man, it's like we're right there. Like it's like I can just barely feel it. It's at our fingertips. And that's another thing I've going for me. I'm too stubborn or too dumb, one of the two, to just quit. And just being down there in Florida is so eye-opening when you get to train with the best guys and the best coaches, and it just assures me that I'm doing the right things and that we're so close. And I'm praying after a good win coming up here in 8 weeks that they're just going to sign my ticket again to come right back in.
And I know you said you've got another UFC vet coming up. Like, is this the fight? Is this the one? Like, you finish this guy, like, you're like, this is going to be the last one. Are you convinced that this is going to be the last one on the regional scene?
I think so. I really do. Things just feel a little different around it. Like, it's a different energy going into this fight. It just feels different. And Grant's last fight, we were in the back doing the interviews and taking the pictures, and Sean Shelby happened to walk by, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot, and I'm going to go up and talk to him and, just say, hey, I'm still here. I'm still ready. Whenever you call short notice, just let me know. Ring my phone. You still got my number. I'm ready. So I just think everything's starting to line up how it's supposed to. And now that I'm a lot older and more mature and develop more, I just think not only that when I get re-signed to the UFC, I'm not just going to be there. I'm going to go on a run. And I truly believe I could get right there into the top 15, the back end of it within 2-3 years.
Love it.
Yeah. I know you're looking for sponsors for this fight as well. I know that's part of the reason you went back to Missouri, trying to get back down here to Florida so we can get this camp going. So, I mean, feel free, like, reach out to the masses here, tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, and why should they sponsor Dakota Harry Bush?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all social medias, Instagram, Facebook. You guys can get a hold of me through there, or even through Iridium if you want to go that route. But yeah, I'm as blue collar, traditional Midwestern as it can get. I love hunting. man, you couldn't catch me in the gym on a spring day unless it's something special coming up, because turkey hunting's got me more concerned about anything. So I work hard. I have a family. I'm super supportive of my wife, and vice versa. I couldn't do it without her. It's just, not only is it helping you and your company or your product or whatever you want to push out, but it's helping me, chase this dream and get back to where I want to be and where I belong. So anything, everything is appreciated. Just hit me up and we can talk business for sure.
I mean, I'm convinced. Dave, are you convinced?
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced. So
I'm just saying, so everybody knows, Fight Bananas is going to jump on this opportunity to sponsor Dakota Bush. We want to be the first ones. We want to make sure that we're on your shorts before it's against the rules. Before you get back on, buddy, we're all on board for Dakota Bush. I believe in you.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely,
that's
brother.
Amazing. Thank you guys.
No, of course, brother.
Yeah, we already talked to your wife and everything. Everything's already done and handled. So that last chunk you needed, all that is done. We got it. And yeah, man.
You guys are amazing.
We just want you on Instagram story saying how great Fight Bananas is, and we're all even, brother. All right.
I'll do it while eating a banana too.
I love it.
Okay, this is the most important banana question ever. Guys, does it go banana to mouth or mouth to banana?
Banana to mouth.
Banana to mouth. 100%.
100%. Like, that's not even a. Jeez. We have a ass kicking machine that kills turkeys in different states in this America. You're gonna ask that question? Come on,
right?
Come on.
That is the question,
no,
and then you have to think about it. You're like, oh no, it's definitely banana to mouth. Dawson's got a good one. Manscaped needs to be sponsoring Dakota.
That is a good one 100%. Too.
Let's tag him.
That's funny because Gabby was talking to me like, yeah. I'm really excited for this interview, and she's always, oh yeah, just whatever, it's another interview. I'll make sure that you look good and you're really peppy for this one.
Dude,
that's my girl. She's looking out. She's looking out.
That's a smart woman
awesome.
right there, man. Well, we're excited. We're excited about the fight. Big fight news coming soon. Man, I know it's any little thing. We're pumped and proud and behind it and supportive. So yeah, man, we're excited, and we'll like I said, we'll talk soon. And Elle's gonna take care of everything. We're sending it there, and
thank you guys so much.
We're back in Florida. Everything is handled, done with, and we're pumped, and we can't wait to see your fight. And we'll take it from there, brother.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It means the world to me.
No, thank you. All right, 14-4 Dakota Bush, big fight happening. On his way, his ascension back into the UFC, I think Dakota's absolutely right. It's very hard to make it there. It's almost impossible to make it to the UFC. But being in the UFC, leaving and then coming back is almost unheard of. There's maybe a handful of men or women that done it. Dakota will be on that short list very, very soon. So, but we appreciate you. Appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon, brother. All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Dakota Bush. There we go. What a show.
Let's go.
What a show.
Love it. We love Dakota Bush, guys. We are on board. He is definitely back in the UFC this year. 2025 is this guy.
I got teary-eyed. I knew the moment was happening. You know what I mean? I had butterfly feelings.
Dude, I'm super happy we were able to do this. I gotta shout out Dakota one more time. The dude is an A1 teammate. He helped Moicano get ready for Benoit. He helped Moicano get ready for Dariush, even though obviously that fight didn't happen. He is constantly helping Grant get ready for opponents. He is a world-class training partner. He definitely deserves this return to the UFC. So I'm super excited for him. Yes, Gillian will be on the Sunday Morning Brew every Sunday. We took a couple weeks off because she and I were both traveling, but we are going to get right back to it this coming Sunday. So get ready, get your coffee.
Especially, guys, there are 11 Saturdays in a row. So Sunday morning, nothing better than just waking up and talking fights. So there you go. No, there is a fight this Saturday. It's Saturday during the day, Saudi Arabia.
What time does it actually start at?
noon on the East Coast. Noon.
Ooh. That's the main card. 9 a.m. on the East Coast for the prelim.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. That is early.
Yeah, pretty wild.
I kind of like
All
it.
right, guys. I think we absolutely did it. So pumped. Thanks to Keelan. How great was Keelan in that first little nugget?
Just top notch. I genuinely would, if I was PFL, I would hire Keelan to promote your show in Belfast. Like,
yeah,
you should.
not me, not us. Keelan.
Yeah, Keelan.
Yeah, amazing. Then, of course, I'm telling you, Elle, I know you were behind the camera. I was just like, I've done probably over 1,000 interviews. You know, when stuff's happening, I was like, I'm just shutting up. I just started smiling at Grant. I was just like, yeah, brother, you just say your thing.
Go. No,
his rant on Michael Chandler should be on every goddamn platform in this world. We will post it up. We'll push those collab buttons. It was good. It was really good. So
I love it.
We'll get that done. Yeah, I'm still not over it, Sean. It's been a tough 48 hours in the Van Auken house, but it's like therapy if you talk it out loud. Yeah, the Bills lost a very close game to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Pretty devastating, not going to lie. Sleep was not good for the last 2 days. Not good. Yes, it's Izzy Imamov on Saturday. Do we think we made it early because the Rumble Saturday night? No, it's a Saudi Arabia thing. The Rumble is Saturday night. No spoiler alerts, though, at the Van Auken house because I might have a gig or something to do Saturday. So the Van Aukens are watching it Sunday morning when I get back home. I'm not allowed to say what I'm doing just yet. That's right. We have 50 cents this
11 weeks in a row, right? Is what we have starting this weekend. Love it. I love it.
A lot of people can't stand Chandler. It's pretty wild. I will say this. I did meet Michael Chandler in Nashville. He was very nice gentleman. But I cannot wait for Grant Dawson to elbow that man in the face. I'm sorry. Like I feel normally a W card start 2 p.m. Yeah, I don't know why. It is early. It's an early card. I'm not sure, but maybe. Honestly, this is my new favorite MMA-based page on YouTube. Dude, thanks, you, Ryan.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Appreciate it. We're happy you're here. Here.
I think so. Ryan gets a new one. And, dude, my second favorite, YouTube comment, Chamayev DDP. Shout out to Aaron T.
Yes.
We love that. We love new YouTube people. That's what we're trying to do here. So,
yes, tell your friends to subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube channel.
Be on the future. Hey, Ryan, hit us up on socials, man. Hit us up. Yes, you never know. Shoot your shot. I like it. Elle, an hour and 58 minutes. You are a trooper. You're amazing. We appreciate you. We appreciate your guts and grit. And we'll the next time we're live, we'll see everyone on Sunday morning for the brew with you and G. And we'll see everyone next week on Tuesday.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining.